Hello everyone, welcome to Happy Science Meditation Seminar. I'm Bobby Mai, Minister of Happy Science. We have been studying Eightfold Path, traditional self-reflection in Buddhism. This seminar is created by Master Okawa's book, True Real Eightfold Path, which is modern age of way of reflection. So far, we studied about the right view and right thought. I would like to discuss speaking rightly today as a right speech. In order to live in this chaotic world, this Eightfold Path is pretty important. Also, speaking rightly is crucial. In this world, you can create hell or heaven in accordance with your speech. So, let us start. On right speech, this is as an important item of discipline as right view. And this right speech poses quite a difficulty, which may be keenly felt by all those who have encountered the Eightfold Path and try to check their own minds. Suppose all you said in the course of a day was recorded on tape and then played back before bed. What would you think? This is the starting point of how to consider right speech. If what you have said within a day is recorded and you have to listen to it before going to bed, how would you evaluate it? In other words, check all that you said from another person's or a third party's viewpoint. This is quite hard. While right view is difficult, right speech is still more difficult to practice. Most people do not know how their words influence others or how they themselves are influenced by their own words. I think this applies to more than 90% of all people. Unhappiness is often created by one's own words rather than others. For regulating words which are so potent, we need to make efforts with courage. This is a fight, a struggle with ourselves. There is no end to our pursuit in speaking rightly. This is an eternal effort we ought to make. Although it never ends, you should at least make an effort to the extent that you can go to sleep peacefully at the end of a day after listening to the tape that records all you said within the day. If you listen to your own words on the tape and they give you a sleepless night, that is just terrible. If you think your words are not so bad and can go to sleep with ease, that will be fine. That much effort must be made. What we have to consider here is the case of hurting others with words. On such occasion, the words remain in their minds for many years. Meanwhile, the person who spoke them often regards it and regrets it. Most people feel sorry for uttering such words on the spot on the next day or after a week, but cannot frankly admit that they are sorry or that they change their minds and feel regret. It is sad, but it is true with more than 90% of all people. For example, when we are working with a computer and input the wrong data, we need to correct it by entering modified information. If the new information is still incorrect, we have to again input the correction. It requires tremendous work. In the same way, when you find that you have input something wrong, you need to replace it with something right. Otherwise, you cannot obtain any clean result or balance your mind. Encourage yourself to make the effort for replacing the wrong point. The cause of suffering, in most cases, lies in your pride. Many of you might think you are shunned away by others. What do you think about yourself? Do you think you are not liked by others? Or do you think you are liked? If you think you are not liked by others, examine yourself carefully. Usually, you are shunned because of the words you speak. Except for a few cases, you are avoided by others because of the words you utter thoughtlessly. If that is a chance occurrence, others may ignore it. However, if you repeatedly speak thoughtless words, they will no longer forgive you. People will have a fixed impression that you are a person who always speaks and thinks in such a way. If you think you are not liked by others, you must have uttered words that hurt others. You are actually hurting others or harming others' feelings, and yet have not taken any action to rectify the harm you inflicted. Although you might complain of being bullied or attacked by others, but the reason is often that you make thoughtless remarks as they pop up in your mind, which irritate others' feelings. If that is the cause of your trouble, it can be solved in a few minutes. If you said, "I am very sorry for what I said to you then," your trouble would be over and done with at once. People can seldom be so cruel as to wipe a person who offers an apology. Usually, no one can do that. It is impossible to wipe or rebuke a person who repents what he has done. Now let us watch Master Oka's lecture on right speech titled "Watch Others' Reaction Carefully," which will give you a good explanation to practice reflection on right speech. Now let us watch.
I said before that the practice of self-reflection can contribute to harmonizing human relationships. What you say plays an important role in your relationships with others. If you reflect on yourself, you will realize that the most of the problems are caused by a careless use of words on your part. The words you utter very often put you in the situation where you must apologize to another. Not only Shakyamuni Buddha, but Jesus Christ too taught the importance of using words rightly. Not what goes into the mouth defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth, this defiles a man. In this statement, Jesus teaches the importance of speech. You may be familiar with the idea that words have their own soul and own power. In fact, language has a great spiritual power, and speaking is one of the most spiritual of human activities on earth. We hear words through the eardrum, which translates them into a sound with a particular vibrational frequency. In the spirit world, however, words are not transmitted through the vibration of air. The ideas are transmitted directly from one spirit to another. In this world, however, your thoughts are only transmitted to others through words. So if you want to know what you are thinking, you need to examine your speech. Analyzing your speech will clearly reveal your thoughts. The discipline of examining your own speech is essential. And self-reflection through checking language is, in a sense, easy. In the relation to the practice of right view, I have explained a method for reviewing your past, as if you are watching a silent movie. If you compare the movie to a comic strip, one frame of the movie is equivalent to one frame of a comic, without speech. The only thing you have to do is to add written speech to the picture. Looking at the picture, you have to recall what you said at a certain point in time. Then you will be able to remember what you said in that particular scene. To really be able to practice self-reflection on right speech, you need to remember what you have said and recall it. If you have hurt someone, it is most likely through a careless use of words, but often you will be unaware of this. So let me tell you the best way to check your speech. When you have said something, you must not turn your eyes away from the person you are speaking to. In reaction to your words, there will be some expression on the face of the other person. The reaction may be either positive or negative. The face may become brighter or a shadow may cross it. In one way or another, the other person receives the information you give and reacts to it. If you want to examine your speech, you should discipline yourself to watch the changes in facial expression of the person you are speaking to. Those who are careless and hurt others are notoriously inattentive to others' reactions to what they say. The moment they speak, they look away. Having said, "I don't like you," they cannot look the other person in the eye, so they look down or look away. When you speak to someone, check and see if you are watching the person's face to sense any change in expression. People who tend to speak carelessly do not usually look others straight in the eye. If you want to know if you are speaking rightly or wrongly, you have to check if you are in the habit of watching the other person's face. After you have said something, if you do not, it is highly possible you are not speaking rightly. If you have said something wrong or harmful, it is a human instinct to look away and be unable to look the person in the eye. For this reason, when you say something, speak thoughtfully, so that you can watch the other person's expression while continuing to talk. When do you meet the other person's eyes and continue to watch their expression? It is when you say something to please others. If you say, "You are beautiful," you are sure to see the person look happy. When you say, "You are beautiful," or "You dress so elegantly," do you cast your eyes down? Having said, "It is a beautiful day, isn't it?" Do you look down? Only a few people do. When you anticipate that the other person will smile, it is natural to want to see the smile. Here I am attempting to explain the criteria for right speech. You don't need to wait till bedtime to know whether you spoke rightly. You can judge by the reaction of the person you are speaking to. Control your speech so that you can keep looking into the eyes of the person whom you are talking to. There may be a few eccentric people who smile with satisfaction to see the face of another harden or turn purple with rage. But they are the exception. They themselves will be aware they are abnormal. Of course, you may reflect in the evening on your speech during the day. Try to recall what you said during the day. If you say something, another will react immediately. The instant you notice you have said something wrong, apologize. If you notice you have hurt another person's feelings, whether or not you intended to wound, you must soothe the other person's feelings of hurt. You should always do this. Imagine you are playing tennis. If your first service gets caught in the net, you have another chance to serve. Similarly, the moment you think you have hurt someone, you can immediately say something else to offset the negative words. If there is a misunderstanding between you and another, correct it. Often it is simply a physical condition that is the cause of careless speech. Perhaps you have a muscular pain or are short of sleep or have even seekers of truth find it difficult to be pleasant. If they are suffering from these sorts of troubles, when you have slept well, eaten well, and feel full of energy, it is easy to speak rightly. But if you are short of sleep or tired from overwork, you may be unable to say the right thing. Coping with this is difficult. In cases like this, the last resort is to apologize and say, for example, "I'm sorry. I was feeling terrible because I'm short of sleep. Recently, I have been feeling exhausted from overwork, so may have been rude to you." Then the person who was hurt by your remarks will understand your position. If he has no idea why you made such thoughtless remarks, he will imagine it was his fault and suffer. So if you are in a bad shape, you should say honestly, "I'm sorry, I am not in good shape." If you feel it is too embarrassing to say sorry, just say, "I'm not feeling very bright." Adding a remark like this will make a great deal of difference to the situation.
How was Master Oka's lecture? That was a great help to practice self-reflection on right speech. Please utilize that method. Now we like to practice self-reflection on right speech. We are going to practice 2 points. First, reflect on the past days to see if you have said good words, praise, that made other people happy. Reflect on the past days to see if you have said good words, praise, that made other people happy. This is the first one. A second one, reflect on the past days to see if you have said words that harm, criticize, or trouble others. Reflect on the past days to see if you have said words that harm, criticize, or trouble others. So let us practice self-reflection on right speech. First of all, we like to recite prayer to guardian and guiding spirit. Prayer to guardian and guiding spirits. My guardian and guiding spirits, deep inside of me, you are the fountain of life, the light of hope, the source of wisdom, and the shield of courage. Every day may you help me develop my soul and refine my mind. Every day may you give me inspiration and show me the right path to follow. Please protect me from all evil and guide me in living a better life. For this, I give my thanks. So let us start practice. First of all, the posture. Sit in the chair, sofa is okay, and straighten your back, and relax your neck and shoulder. Put your hands on your lap, palm facing upward. Then close your eyes lightly and start breathing deeply. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. When you inhale, send the air to the bottom of your stomach. When you exhale, exhale slowly and little by little. Focus on the breathing and try to calm your mind. Breathe in and breathe out. Now let's start self-reflection on right speech. First, reflect on the past days to see if you have said good words or praises that made other people happy. Reflect on the past days to see if you have said good words, praises that made other people happy. Second point. Reflect on the past days to see if you have said words that harm, criticize, or trouble others. Reflect on the past days to see if you have said words that harm, criticize, or trouble others. Please begin. Please end your reflection and open your eyes. How was your reflection? Did you find your good words or the words that harm, criticize, or trouble others? Please think, why did you say like that? What kind of thought in your mind? Now, we like to practice meditation. Meditation of compassion. That will reconcile your human relationship. Master Oka will guide us, so just follow the guidance. Now, let us begin.
Next comes the meditation on compassion. This is a spiritual training for someone who is short-tempered. If you get angry easily, you first need to control that feeling. Unless you cease your anger and regain a peaceful mind, you can never have rational thinking. When you feel, I dislike that person, or he is a bad guy, you need to try to calm your mind by saying to yourself, all people are born equal as children of Buddha. You control your anger believing that he is also a person with Buddha nature. This meditation will neutralize your anger and calm your mind. I believe that everyone has met someone they don't like. So please imagine a particular person you dislike now, or others whom you used to hate or get upset with very much. Then try to convince yourself that he or she is also a child of Buddha and people are all equal being given Buddha nature. Reflect on your mind that is not compassionate enough to embrace and cherish that person. Such a merciful heart can dissolve all the negative emotions you have been holding. For example, if your child does not listen to what you say, it is your duty as a parent to teach your child to behave. But you must first try to imagine how you were at the age of 3. Probably you also did a lot of nasty things, like messing around all the stuff in the living room, or throw things, or yelling at your mommy. Maybe you had a fight with other kids in your neighborhood and got your clothes dirty. Forgetting all this, you got mad at your child for not obeying you. This is the meditation to view others equally and have warm and compassionate feelings for everybody. When you feel anger, ask yourself what you would do if you were in the same situation as that person. Perhaps you might have behaved just as he or she did. Your mind is filled with anger about whatever incident that happened to you, but you can moderate your anger by putting yourself in the other person's shoes to understand that person's perspective. Now let's practice it. Okay, please begin deep breathing. Put your hands together in prayer. Close your eyes lightly. Imagine anyone whom you don't like, or someone whom you are upset with. If you don't have anyone, please choose someone in the past you got mad at. Then remember the particular feature of that person that you got mad at. Next, try to convince yourself that you have not been merciful enough to understand that this person is also someone who has Buddha nature. And reflect upon your narrow-heartedness. Okay, please finish your meditation.
How was the meditation? Did you enjoy it? I hope you enjoyed it. The meditation is great method to make yourself happy and also to find your true self. As I mentioned the first part, in order to live rightly or happily in this world, we have to find out true self. Master Oka gave us this method, self-reflection and meditation. This is leading us to the happiness of the humankind. This is true happiness. Master Oka, as a savior, he's preaching the teaching of happiness, the teaching of universe. So many people are suffering in this age. The teaching, the truths are needed. So if you practice this meditation and reflection and enjoy the happiness, please tell them the method of self-reflection and meditation. This is a salvation for whole humankind. So you are the key person to make people happy. Master Oka is preaching the universal laws, meditation, self-reflection, but we have to convey the method or teaching to the people. That is our mission. So I hope you will fulfill your mission. So I'll see you next week and practice more about Eightfold Path. Thank you very much for joining us today and see you next.